And welcome to one of our summer editions of Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. We'll have a few of these coming up for you over the summer. First up, we'll hear from Georgia Southern head football coach Chad Lunsford on how things have been going over the summer for the Eagles as they prepare for camp, which starts at the end of the first week of August. And then we'll also go over to Womack Field and hear from Statesboro High head coach Jeff Kaiser, how things went over the summer for the Blue Devils, who have over 120 players out for football this year, looking to build on last year's success of making it to the state playoffs. And we'll also head back over to Womack Field once again to hear from former Blue Devil UGA great Justin Houston, also an NFL All-Pro linebacker who is now left Kansas City and is over with the Indianapolis Colts this year. We had a chance to talk with him about his camps. We'll have all that and more coming up in just a moment. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com.
The Medical Center Pharmacy on Grenade Street is proud to be your Health Mart pharmacy in Statesboro. The Medical Center Pharmacy, locally owned and serving this community for 50 years, is open 364 days a year. The pharmacists at Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Well, the Georgia Southern football team will begin their preseason practice on August 2nd. We had a chance to talk with Georgia Southern head coach Chad Lunsford about how things have gone over the summer as the Eagles prepare for the 2019 campaign.
I feel really good. You know, I feel like because of us going early spring ball, the guys have had an opportunity to really train and get in the weight room and get as strong as they've ever been. We've seen a lot of weight gains. We've seen a lot of speed increases and things that you really want to see during the offseason. We just had longer time with them after going early spring ball. So really like where we're at and looking forward to seeing what they look like come August 1st when we report. You know, I think the weight room can be different in, you're still going to power clean, you're going to squat, you're going to bench, you're going to do all the stuff, the speed work and all that kind of stuff. But I think what you see in the weight room now, if you go spend time in there, you see a bunch of guys that really want to be in there and really want to work at it and work hard at it. Coach Matt's done a tremendous job with the culture and the vibe and the energy in there. So I think there's a real positive energy in there, and I know there's a blue-collar work ethic in there. You know, as coaches, we're always trying to get ahead, trying to make sure that we're working toward game plans and maybe going ahead and getting a sneak peek at our opponents and just trying to be as prepared and as ahead as we can be before a season starts. You never truly know what your opponent's going to look like, or even what you're going to look like till you really get into that training camp. But we have put some work into that to try to get ahead on things, and our guys, even though they're lifting and running and doing all that, they'll get out there and they'll do a little football on their own and kind of go through some things, trying to get on the same page with one another. So. Again, I think we're progressing fine and putting ourselves in position to be ready for training camp.
When you look at the league, any teams stand out to you?
Again, we concentrate a lot on us and making sure that we're going to take care of ourselves. But obviously, there's some good teams in this league, and App State's always going to be powerful, Arkansas State, Troy, and as we go through this thing, I mean, we've got to be ready each and every week, just because any team can win any Saturday. And so we'll be mindful to make sure that we're taking everybody serious and making sure that we're doing the best we can to be ready for these games.
I know you get tired of people coming up to you, oh, Coach, how are you going to look this year? Oh, we're going to be better than last year. And I guess one of the things when people have asked me that, I've said they may be better. That doesn't necessarily mean the record's going to be much better, because the schedule is a lot tougher this year.
Yeah, I think once you start looking at the schedule, you got to go, this will be a harder schedule than it was last year. Again, we have to be very careful about with our players talking about, results and outcomes and all that, and just understand it's about what we do each day, and just work toward what we do. So when it comes to wins and losses, I couldn't sit here and say if we'll be better, we'll be worse. I can't say that at all. Do I think we'll be a better football team? I most certainly do. We got a lot of guys back. We got a lot of experience. And they're getting used to what we implemented last year, and I think that's key. So as long as we trust what we're doing, trust our process, I think good things will happen.
Expectations around here are always high, but last year I think they might have been low for one of the first times, and you guys far exceeded that. Do you feel any pressure going into this year that you didn't feel last year, because of how well you guys did and how many people are coming back?
I think there will probably be that extra pressure. I think there'll be extra pressure on the coaches. I think there'll be extra pressure on the players. But the thing that we do a really good job of is when they step foot on campus, even the rookies and, our current team, we talk about embracing expectations. You got to want the expectations that Georgia Southern has, or you don't need to come here. And so as a coaching staff, we're going to embrace it, and as players, we're going to embrace it, and we understand if we don't meet expectations, there will be a lot of fallback on it. So, but that's something we don't worry about. We just embrace it and roll with it.
3 years ago, you guys returned fairly intact. Very similar situation this year. Of course, 3 years ago, things didn't go too well. Did you learn anything from that season that you can take into this season to try to avoid maybe some of the pitfalls that happened then?
Obviously, I think it's important that you learn from the past, and there's a lot of different scenarios of why things went the way they did. But I think we're different. I think this is, for the most part, our coaching staff is intact. We've got some of the same players, but we got the same coaching staff, and I think that continuity is really big for us. Georgia Southern struggles a little bit, had to do with a lot of transition. Counting me, 4 different head coaches in that period of time, and that weighs on a program. So I think the ability to keep our coordinators and keep our strength coach and that different thing, that's going to help that.
Do you tweak the offense and defense at all with the fact that they've been in the system for a while, or do you not mess with something that's been working?
I think you've got to continue to grow as an offense and defense. Last year we were probably minimal in what we could do just because it was new to everybody on both sides of the ball. So we had to be minimal. I think because we do have experience back, we can reach and grow a little bit on both sides of the ball. But I do think it's important that you don't overload your guys. I think it's very important that you keep things simple so that guys can go play fast, play hard, play free, and not be as stressed about knowing so many different things. But when you talk about going from a 10-3 season to whatever this season's going to be, you go from 2-10 to 10-3. That's a huge improvement. Going from 10-3 to whatever this is going to be, the improvements won't be as noticeable. And so you got to be paying attention to those small details. And we talk about going from good to great. We got to be able to tweak our offense. We got to be able to tweak our defense. We got to be able to make sure that we're showing some different things that give us a little bit of an advantage. So I do expect new wrinkles, but obviously we're going to do what we do.
And stay with us. Coming up next, we'll head out to Walnut Field where we'll hear from Statesboro High head coach Jeff Kaiser.
What does it mean to have financial freedom?
At Queensboro Wealth Management, we're helping people figure that out.
And giving them a plan to get there.
If you have a desire to take control of your finances and live with financial purpose,
We
will use every bit of our knowledge to help you.
And there's no cost to get started.
Download a free kit from our website, then give any of us a call. QWM is Queensboro Wealth Management. Let's begin today.
Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment, and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy. In-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests and ultrasounds, in-house lab. And introducing our new nurse practitioner, Melissa Beasley, as we now accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care. Well, it's been a while since the Statesboro Blue Devils took the field. They were there finishing up spring practice as they host Windsor Forest in a scrimmage game. It's been a long summer for the Blue Devils. They've been able to get a little bigger, faster, stronger in the weight rooms and be able to get on the field as well. We had a chance to talk with head coach Jeff Kaiser as they get set to start the season.
It's been a good summer. Our attendance has been great. We have somewhere around 120, 130 kids on our roster, 9 through 12 right now. We've averaged right at 100 kids each day. In the month of June, we practiced and lifted and ran 3 days a week, and then after the dead week in July, we've gone to 5 days a week. It's been very good. Our kids have done everything we've asked them to do and worked hard. One of the unique things about this team that you don't see on a lot of teams anymore is we have 20 to 25 guys, and our upperclassmen guys that have summer jobs. So work schedule, things of that nature. When those kids have not been here, we know where they are, and they've been given an opportunity to make those workouts up. So been good communication. Kids, we had a great morning this morning. It's just been a good summer. The guys are progressing along. It's kind of hard to measure in the summertime because we don't test them as often as we do during the school year, but we're in good shape. Our kids have conditioned well. We know we've got some weaknesses, especially on the offensive line. When I say weaknesses, we've got some guys got to step up and prove themselves early. But it's no different than it was last year. The procedure, the grind, your methods, they don't change. You just adjust, and our kids have been here and committed and worked very hard. We actually only did one 7-on-7. The other camps we went to were padded camps. We're fortunate that Georgia High School Association allows us 3 two-day padded camps or 6 total days. If you did a single-day camp, we went to Vidalia High School last week and worked with Vidalia in Scriven County, Washington County, Metter, and Harlem. And then went to Scriven County this past week, or Monday, earlier this week, and worked with Scriven, Appling, Lincoln County, Jenkins County, and South Effingham. So good work, good physical work. It's an opportunity to get the pads on and get a ton of reps and a ton of physical reps in replace of not being able to do it since spring practice. We're fortunate to be able to do that, and we escaped it with no injuries. So we had some surprises, had some kids step up that we didn't know would be able to help us immediately, and we think they will be. So it's been a good summer. I don't want to say typical, because typical to us is everybody being here and working to get better, and our kids have. We're fortunate as we have a very, very good ninth grade class. We're about 50 strong in that area. We've got a few ninth graders that will contribute on Friday nights, not because they have to, because they're that talented. And so we're looking forward to that. We have made some adjustments to our summer schedule where we work our ninth grade class out by themselves instead of with our older guys, in hopes that we can retain a few more of those guys. And they're not standing around watching the older guys. They're actually getting some quality work. So it's been great having those guys here, and A lot of times your ninth graders aren't quite sure of what's going on in the summertime. They don't understand the commitment level you have to have, and most of them have been here every day. However, when school starts back next week, when pre-planning starts back, you'll see some of those guys trickle back in, those ninth graders. But the bulk of our team has been here, and like I said, we've got so many that have jobs, and we allow those guys an opportunity down the road to make those up before the season starts. We were able to see get better, improve physically our lines of scrimmage in these camps we went to. We've actually been able to shorten the amount of time we're on the field this summer. So we've been able to split it down the middle. Half of our day is in the weight room, the other half is on the grass, but we're so far ahead installation-wise on what we do. The kids have a good grasp of what to do. So we've been able to do less reps each day, but do the reps more frequently. When I say that, we're available and on the field more as far as number of days, but it's been, kids have worked hard, really have. Couldn't ask any more of them. The defense will be the same scheme, our stack 3-3, and offensively, you saw what we did in the spring. We made some adjustments. Our blocking rules are the same. It's a little bit different look, but essentially the same thing. We got some guys on the perimeter. We feel like we can get the ball out with some width and stretch the field horizontally as well as vertically. So we're just trying to take our best kids and get the ball in their hands and let them make some plays.
And stay with us. Coming up next, we'll head back to Womack Field and hear from former Blue Devil and NFL great Justin Houston. Come visit us locally here in Statesboro at Piedmont Loop beside Walmart.
Yes, got the chips. You ready?
Yeah.
Yes, this is it.
It's Badcock Home Furniture and More's 115th anniversary. Get an extra $115 off your purchase and enter our 15 days of giveaways. Save big on select mattress sets and select sofas. It's easy with your style, our credit at Badcock Home Furniture and More's 115th anniversary.
A sports injury can stop you in your tracks. At Optum Orthopedics, our specialized physicians and staff use advanced orthopedic procedures with one specific goal in mind: to get you back to you. If you have a sports injury, request an evaluation. Experience the Optum difference.
Each summer, former Statesboro Blue Devil Justin Houston has been putting on his Faith Before Fame camp. The NFL linebacker who's currently playing with the Indianapolis Colts had some of his friends and colleagues come back into town to put on a camp for quite a few local kids.
The purpose of starting this camp 5 years ago was to give back to the kids and give the kids the opportunity to meet other NFL players, such as myself, because as a child growing up, I didn't have that opportunity. I added more events. I want to get the bigger crowd I can get, the more people I can get to come out. So I added the cheer camp up there in the gym. I also added a 3-on-3 basketball tournament over there at the basketball course. So it's just to get the community involved and let them have fun and give them something to do. I always bring most of the guys from the University of Georgia I played with or that was there before me, and a couple pro guys out here with me. It feels good to be back in that blue. I haven't been in blue since I left high school, so it feels good to be back in blue. I feel like a new kid at a new school, and I'm ready to make some new friends.
My third time. I missed the last 2 years because I had things to do, but it's always good to come back. It's always good to come out here to see the younger kids, man. To give back, man. I didn't have this growing up, so I always wanted to help the younger generation coming up. This is definitely my first time, and it feels good. When Houston said that he had a camp, it was a no-brainer for me to come out here because it's so important to get back to our kids. And I respect Houston and what he's doing so much. So that's why I'm here. And you could tell all the guys that's here, it means something to them. It means something to them to get back to the kids. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that he told me about it, and I'm glad to be in Statesboro for the first time.
And that's going to wrap it up for this week. We thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.